And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the 14th episode of the Dojo Kun Shill Shack. Today, my guest co-host is Derek / Dirk / Clay / D-Rock.
Yeah, I have many names. So.
There's probably a few he doesn't want me to list.
Yes. There's a few
I know
I've
been called a few by people who profess to love me. So,
yeah, there's a few that's not appropriate. My wife calls me, and we'll just leave those as it is.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for being here, Derek. I appreciate you to be here to help me interview our guests. We will have some time to talk about your campaign, though. You've got a live campaign going on right now with Kevin Murphy, so we'll make sure we get to that in just a bit. But let's see here if I can go over here and I'm not seeing the chat. Okay. Well, if I am missing anybody, I apologize, but we will try to catch your comments and show them on here. And if you're watching in the replay, we appreciate you a lot. I know that there's a zillion streams going on all week nowadays. So if you get a chance to watch us in the replay, we appreciate you as well. So let's go ahead and bring in our guests then. We have with us Stephan Velez, OACV. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
Great, man.
Owasi has asked us to bring on his editor too, HP Francisco. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing perfect. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great to hear that. That's a good answer. And of course, we've also got Justin Belmont. Hi, Justin. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Justin.
What's going on?
We are going to have a look at these guys' campaigns. We're going to talk about the various tiers, maybe some of the origins of the books. And in Owasi's case, we'll talk about the previous book that leads into this one, because from what I understand, this one picks up right where the other one left off. Is that right?
That is correct. Right where it leaves
All
off,
right.
where we're telling a continuous story. So
excellent.
Nice.
So let's start with you then, Owasi. I don't know if you heard, I think you had gone to get your headphones, but can either of you or HP bring up the campaign for us?
yeah, I'll pull it up. Give me just a sec.
No problem.
Sorry, I was grabbing some headphones while I was in the back.
So we've got Nolan Lockhart joined us. How you doing? Thanks for being here. We've got K Manifesto, my former partner in crime. How are you, Kevin? Glad you could be here.
Sorry, one sec.
No problem. Hey, you're probably going to do way better at it than I would have if I tried to boomer through it.
All right, so I have it pulled up. Want me to share it?
Yes, please.
It's stuck all the time.
All right. Let me share it here. And here it is.
And you're over there, and there we are. Excellent. Okay, so the Veilwalker 2. I should reach over here and grab Veilwalker 1. Well, I'll do that while we're maybe playing the trailer. So maybe let me ask you this, Owasi. Do you want me to start with that, and then we can go into talking about it?
Of course, let's start with the trailer,
Okay.
right? That's the first thing we usually see, right? So let's.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's do it.
There are facets of this world that are
Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Cool.
Good.
unknown to many. Roads whose pathways were erased from our memory, weathered mortar and broken cobblestones that once paved the way to hell. Very few are those foolish enough to open these doors, save for one. And that is you, Alexander. You're arrogant, you're stubborn, and brazen in all your ways. Your weakness is one all mortals share. You believe that you can hold the tide as it slips through your fingers. Your destiny will be the same as all those who came before you. Food for the worms. With a fate such as yours, Alexander, what else can you do but burn? support you too on Indiegogo.
All right, there it is.
Nice. Like it.
Nice.
It's a good trailer.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
You guys might recognize that voice in a little bit, but yeah, that trailer was put together solely by the many talented HP Francisco, the many skills. This guy can do everything. I've always said it. I'm just a pretty face that shows up on streams. HP is the one who does everything else, you know.
Right.
That's somewhere in the basement. I'm just with pens and papers and computer screens all over the place.
So I'm not all that much different. I just happen to be upstairs instead of down.
Yeah.
I'm in one of the guest rooms.
That's a lot of work, man. Trailers, that seemed daunting to me, so I had to hire that out, man. Couldn't do it myself.
Well, General Piggy says that this is the best trailer out there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nice.
And hail General Piggy for being here.
It's a lot of work.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, don't give HP too much credit because then he starts charging me for it.
Yeah. I just want a window. That's all I want.
Oh, that's right. Well, we'll upgrade you to one of the guest bedrooms with the bars on the window.
Can't let him get away. He's got this work to do, right?
Yep.
All right. So tell us about the origin, please, of the Veilwalker story. I mean, I know a bit about it, having read the first one.
Yep.
With all its goodies, but tell us where the story came from and how long you've been working on it.
So, me and HP thought it up a long time ago. I think we were playing The Witcher 3 one day when I used to live in Massachusetts up there with HP, and while we're playing The Witcher 3, I turned to him and I'm like, "This is awesome. Could you imagine this in a modern day setting?" And then that's kind of where I put pieces together because I'd already designed the character of Alexander. I just didn't have a story for him. And then that's kind of where everything sort of came together. Eventually that night I go to sleep and I have a dream, and I dreamed up one of the key sequences in the sort of Veilwalker story. And then we just hit the ground running from there. So, I mean, it's been nearly 10 years. I would say like 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
In development.
Wow, man. That's awesome, though. I felt like my 4 years was long, but 10 years, you got me, man. You got me on that one.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some stories that we've been working on even longer. But yeah, the Veilwalker seemed to be like the most approachable story. And it was the most developed that we had. So, you know, when it was time to run a Kickstarter and Indiegogo, we looked around and we're like, the Veilwalker's it. You know, we've got the most amount of pages, we got the most of the story developed. So, you know, it seemed natural to start here, and I think it's a good introduction to what the Owasi-verse and, you know, the universe that HP is creating on his end as well. It was a good introduction, sort of, to this world and what type of stories we're trying to tell.
Okay.
Right.
So HP, tell us what your role is in this endeavor, this project.
Oh, well, I am the keeper of the sacred scrolls. So whenever someone has a really nice idea and they implement it, I have to look into the lore and say, this doesn't make sense. No. And so, but yeah, so, you know, I edited through the story. I also co-wrote the first issue as well. And basically making sure that everything is basically running tight, you know, because especially when you're dealing with, I mean, there's a reason why J.R. Tolkien took his whole life to write not only all the stories, but he created his own language. He created a whole history, not only because he wanted to create a mythical history for England, but because he had an attention to detail. And, you know, you see that in the best fantasy writers is that, you know, the world has to really have firm foundations. And so once you have those firm foundations, you have the sandbox, you have the playground to be able to introduce awesome characters, and one of the principal players is Alexander. And so, alongside being the editor, and making sure the periods and commas are where they're supposed to be, but also bringing ideas and kind of building out some of our ancillary stories and characters are going to be interwoven into the Veilwalker story.
Nice. So you're
Excellent. So-
Stephan's boss. That's what you're trying to say.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way. But then again, who's the one locked in a dungeon and who's in the I mean,
It's a passive aggressive relationship, I see.
we got to give each other a bunch of crap, that keeps us level headed.
That's right, and it's fun. So, okay, I saw you scrolling through the campaign while HP was talking, and it prompted a few questions from me. The first of which I'll go to is that ash can I saw you scroll to. Is that ash can an add-on? Is it a stretch goal? How can we get that?
So the ash can is not a stretch goal. It's an add-on. You can also get it. Let me actually go over there. You can also get it with our catch-up tier. So you'll get issue 1, issue 2, and you'll also get the ash can. Which was basically what I call a proof of concept. That ash can is about, and I can actually scroll through it while I say it. This ash can is about 4 or 5 years old now. It was something that I put together with Sajad, Leo, and Adelso in order to make sure that Alexander and the Veilwalker was something that read well. Right, that the story made sense. It was viable. So we put these. I think it's about 8 pages. We put that together, and yeah, it's available now as an ash can.
So I think what I'm going to have to do, Lassie, is I'm going to have to refund my purchase and then go back in and add this on, because of all of the things that campaigns have available on them, whether they're add-ons or stretch goals, the thing that I appreciate most is additional content. And I've heard that from a few people. It's not universal necessarily, but it's definitely something I appreciate, is this additional content. So I was too quick to back it. I didn't probably look at everything like I should, but I think I'm going to add on this ash can because I love those.
No, yeah, it's so what it is. It's I'm being very upfront. It's full size. It's a full size, full color comic. I know a lot of ash cans are smaller, maybe. They have a colored cover, but the interiors are black and white. No, I think that this artwork and the team that was put together for this particular ash can just worked so well together. And I mean, the preview pages are, can tell that it deserves a full size, full colored presentation. So that's what I'm going to give the people.
Excellent. All right. So then tell us about the what you're allowed to tell us, or at least without being spoilery, tell us about the story of the Veilwalker.
Sure. So since we're still telling like sort of the first arc or the first introduction, and the story is continuing directly from what's happening in issue 1, it's still the same elevated pitch, right? The story of the Veilwalker takes place in a world where a very small percentage of the human population is born with something called the gift. And what the gift does, it allows people to use their mana or their spiritual essence to cast spells, right? And these gifted individuals are identified at birth by an organization called the Veil Guard, which they're looked after and protected by. And our main character's role in all this is he is the Grand Inquisitor of the Veil Guard, particularly the Order of the Inquisitors, the Inquisitory branch. So basically, the Veil Guard functions as a sort of, I'm not sure what you would call it, HP, sort of a shadow government, shadow organization.
Yeah, you can call it the magical Illuminati. So the way I explain, I think you can see one of the images in the back of the book is imagine if everyone who's familiar with Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic. Now imagine that, and you mix it in with a cabal, a shadow cabal government that basically is in charge of not only running the aspects of the users who are mana capable, but also they control even the inner workings of geopolitics in their world. And so, not to spoil too much, but they have a lot of reach and they have a lot of sway in events, which is, what makes them really one of the main fabrics of Alexander's reality.
And I think we touch upon in the first issue, we show a little bit of just what this organization is capable of doing. If you're reading between the lines and sort of paying attention to the conversations, you can tell that these people, they can swing it around and people can't say anything about it.
So in this, in the trailer, I heard the voiceover ask or talk to him by name, calling him Alexander, but they also called him the Veilwalker. So is he known widely as the Veilwalker, or do people who know him just know him as Alexander?
He is known as the Veilwalker. So the Veilwalker isn't like let's compare it to Batman, right? Batman calls himself, I am Batman, right? The Veilwalker isn't a name that Alexander gave to himself. It's more of something that people refer to him under bated breath, right? They don't dare call him this to his face because there's a particular event that happened within the story that we'll touch upon in Alexander's past, and that's where the name the Veilwalker comes from. So he's known as the Veilwalker.
Yeah, it's a pejorative almost.
Well.
That's cool. Yeah. I like that. I like that.
But for the most part, people just call him Mr. Salvador because he's got he's got the cachet, so people respect him. Except for this numbnut with the man bun. He's Alexander's protege, so he swears that they're on a first name basis, but
Who did the colors?
That was Leonardo Pacchiarotti. So this is what we're showing you here is actually some pages from issue 1, and Leonardo did the colors, not just for issue 1, but also for the Ashcan, and he's coming back for issue 2 as well.
Oh, good. It's nice to have some consistency. On the other hand, you've got a new artist, and he's killing it, right?
I do, and he is. So we actually made the announcement towards the end of our campaign that we were going to switch artists. And this is actually the first splash page that he ever did for us. Me and HP put together sort of a small script for issue 2, and we wanted sort of to pick something out where Adrian Gutierrez, who's the new artist, so he can show us basically everything he has to offer, and we decided to go with this particular splash page. And once we saw it, we were sold.
Well,
there's a level of detail there that, all respects due to Sajad, but we just weren't getting with issue 1.
You know what, though? I have to say, thanks a lot for that level of detail, says the arachnophobe in the panel.
Sorry.
It's going to have nightmares now.
I'll say this. It's actually not a spider, but okay.
Oh,
okay.
All right. Then it's cuddly. Okay, gotcha.
The only thing you're getting from me. But here, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys.
Thanks. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I know you like that. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a nice big reveal of what this is. We wanted to try and keep it as concealed as possible. One thing I wanted to do was sort of maintain that horror element like they used to have in Jaws and some of the best horror movies where it's like
that.
It's more the imagination of what it actually is more horrifying than the actual reveal.
Right.
So we're gonna try and play with that. We're gonna try and play with that as much as possible.
That's nice. It almost looks 3D, man. It looks awesome. It's a great page.
Thank you. Yeah, he's doing some good stuff, and we actually have some up here. We have basically the page that precedes that splash, but this is still being drafted out. This is actually a draft, so I wanted to show you guys Adrian's sort of his process.
Yeah, I like his use of perspective, man. It's great.
Right, yeah. So these are his draft pages, and basically this is the type of stuff we end up with.
Very good.
I like when you can see the perspective in the page. Like, that one's very much a one-point perspective.
Right.
But whenever you go down to the black and white one, you only see it at the bottom part of the panel, which is fantastic. And there's that slight skew to the page, which really makes
a Dutch angle.
Yeah,
Yes.
great, man. Love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. We honestly,
It's exciting.
We were sold as soon as we saw this. We were like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the guy we're picking up for issue 2, and we're pretty sure we're gonna hold on to him, moving forward.
Gutierrez, right?
Gutierrez, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I know who to call and poach from. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I've got
I've
a great artist. I'm all set. I was just teasing.
No, I was just gonna say, good luck though. You need a lot of Spanish to talk to this guy.
Oh, okay. I don't have nearly enough then.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm doing it, man. I noticed that a lot of the people that we interact with don't know much Spanish, so it's going to be hard for them to poach any of my peoples.
Oh, there you go. Unfortunately, I can't tell you who I'm working with because you could easily poach them from me.
Yeah, me too.
I'll just use a little bit of my charm,
But you don't need to. You've got a great artist in Gutierrez, so that's wonderful. And what are you showing us here?
Oh, here what we have is our minis. Basically, we have what are they? They're a little over an inch, right, HP?
Yeah, they're the standard size miniatures that you use for D&D, and so these are ones that we created for our board game, our skirmish game, which is also accompanied by the cards that you receive when you got your comic as well. So this is for, alongside this, we also have the big statue as well.
This bad boy right here.
The Grand Inquisitor, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing with these little minis is they're available in some of our tiers. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're also an add-on. But the first 150 backers are going to get it included regardless of what tier they select.
Nice.
And we have a few left.
Very cool. I like that.
Thank you.
128 backers. Is that what I saw?
That's what you saw, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Are you funded at this point?
We are funded. Yes, we are. We are fully funded at this point. We set our goal for $4,000. We're currently sitting at $6,399. Somebody go back $1, please, and get us to a nice even number.
Yeah, the OCD in me is like, why can't they just $1 more?
Right.
So you've got 4 days left. Is that in the first 30?
No, this is it. This is our last 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say this. We've been a little stagnant for the past few weeks. I think it's because just due to a move and everything that was going on in my life, it was hard to get on any streams. So the campaign slowed down drastically. Hopefully these last 3 days we can pick it back up with people waiting for the close, and let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll get a lull in the middle and you'll get a nice big bump at the end. One other thing that may have contributed to the fact that you slowed down a bit is the number of launches that occurred in February.
Yes,
there were just so many, and I'm guilty. I was one of them. So yeah, right. So there was just a ton of them going out there, and I think that I'll be honest. I think that it's stagnated mine as well. So I've really got to go out there and hit the campaign trail. I know that with Siamese, I hit 80 different shows, so I got to ramp this up for my current campaigns. And I'm glad to see that you funded, because what that tells us then is those of you who are, on the fence as to whether or not to back and will you get the book, you absolutely will. Because number one, I can tell you from firsthand experience, Owasi fulfills. And number two, I can tell you that because it's funded, it'll be made. Because he's got the funds. So if you back him, it'll just help him make it all the better.
Yeah, thank you. And then I think it's definitely something I didn't do as many streams during this campaign as I did during the first one. And mind you, the first one only ran for 30 days. This one was a 60-day campaign.
Oh, okay.
But I was absolutely exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Campaigning is tough.
It is.
People don't know how hard it is, and I made it a concerted effort to be a little more selective with some of the campaigns that I show up on. I was going to show up on a bunch more, but unfortunately I had to move due to work, and I missed out on a few weeks because of that. But let's see what we can do.
So he's being selective. He's only picking the very best shows to come on.
You missed mine, man. You missed mine. I don't know why you missed mine, man.
Oh, man. Hey, look, I got 3 days. I got 3 days left. Let's talk.
Uh,
We'll
all
have to
right,
work it
so
out.
tell you what, why don't you go over the tiers then, since we're talking about backing, and show us what you have available to get.
Sure. So let's start with the feature tier. Again, it's basically the catch-up tier, issue 1, issue 2, and the ash can. Again, if you back as soon as possible before we do the 150, you'll also get the mini statue with that. All right, that's just $30 for nearly 100 pages, I think it is, just about.
That's a fantastic deal right there.
Right, yeah, and
That's
we're
nice.
we're aiming and we're trying to do our best to get issue 2 perfect bound. We do have it as a stretch goal where 100% will be able to make us perfect bound as my camera turns off and back on. But we're going to see what we can do once the campaign closes if we can still make it perfect bound. So that's the goal.
How many pages is it?
So as of right now, the story sits at just over 45 pages. I think it's actually 48. Book as a whole is going to be over 50 pages.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering if it made sense to go perfect bound, but it sounds like it does.
Yeah, at that, usually what they say is perfect bound do over 60 pages. But, I think people would really, really enjoy a perfect bound book. So we're going to try and make all of our books moving forward, even though they might be thin perfect bounds, but I think people like it better. It just sits better on your shelf,
I agree.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that I used to collect from the mainstream when they used to make good books were a thin perfect bound. And you're right. I preferred that over Saddle Stitch.
Yep. So then we have here our next tier basically is just issue 1. Sorry, I'm scrolling all over the place. Issue 1. So basically, again, I'm trying. I remember there was a big controversy, right? People were like, I can't believe you're doing a book for $8, right? Issue 1 was only $8 if you got the standard issue, not the hollow foil. But we're still trying to be a little bit under the standard price range. So $20 for just over 50 pages. That's basically issue 1. Right, covered by our interior artist, and it's actually going to be colored.
This is issue 2.
Sorry, yes, issue 2. Yeah. Like I said, it's tough campaigning. And this is going to be colored by our interior artist as well. So basically, we just have that as a preview. That for $25.
Like white, though, the white really pops on that one, though.
It does. It's Adrian's art. Just looks beautiful in black and white.
It does. It looks good.
We actually have this as a stretch goal to get this black and white and red version as a print.
Oh,
and those three colors are so nice together anyway. So
it's amazing. Trust me. So then right here, the next tier we have is basically Rich Ayala of Roach Balls. We're doing like crossover sketch cards. Right,
nice.
So this particular one, I can show you guys a bigger version of it here. So basically, look at this back scratcher I stole, and it's basically Alexander's staff sword thingy-mabobber. So, absolutely love Rich. I can't wait for Roach Balls to drop. And another thing that's dropping, did it drop already? It did already drop, yeah. Cerebrum, so looking forward to get that in my hands by B-Rose. So.
Yeah, so he was scheduled to be on with us tonight, but had to bow out at the last minute. Haven't yet heard what the reason was. I hope he's okay.
What the reason is he realized that I was going to be on the stream as well, and he understands that I am the more handsome of the two.
So he felt he'd be overshadowed.
Right. And it's just, I carry so much charisma, and it's kind of like when Al Pacino's on screen, like your eyes are just drawn to him. It's the same effect with me.
The fact that you're so humble about it, I think, is endearing as well.
Only when it comes to B-Rose. But yeah, so we have those sketch cards. So basically, we dropped those with a few weeks left in the campaign. So guys, go ahead and get those. These are awesome, and really, what we wanted to do was start to build awareness for Roach Balls before Roach Balls drop. So go back those sketch cards. They're hand drawn and they're beautiful.
That's cool.
So then we have the hollow foil, right? This cover right here. This is going to be a hollow foil cover. The cover was designed from the ground up to really pop in the hollow foil form. It was drawn by our good friend and collaborator at Comics Way, El Padrino of Juanito, right? The artist on George
Horse
versus
versus
Lion.
Lion. Yeah.
And then it was colored by Ali Arce from Kryptonils and also the colorist on George versus Lions. So basically, this is our Comic Square cover that we have going on. So we have that for $30. Then we have the dual pack. So basically, issue 2 and regular cover, and the issue 2 holo foil for $45. Get a discount there. And then we have the statue, which I don't have it next to me. I can grab it in a sec. But basically, we have a 7-inch statue that is a reproduction of the Veilwalker on the cover for issue 1. And it's a 3D print.
Okay.
Yep. So basically, it is $85. And this one comes with both of the covers, right? And the statue and the mini.
Oh, nice.
Right. But this particular version is not colored, where this is the exact same package, except the statue is hand colored at the printing facility before we send it out. And it's all going to come in this special box, collector's box, so you guys can keep it, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful.
So for those of you who are collectors, who are truly collectors, you'll want to get that, keep one in the box and buy a second one to take out of the box and put on your shelf.
Very much so, yes. Right? Buy one colored and then buy one not colored so you can do it yourself.
All right. See, I'm learning this whole sales thing.
Yeah, you gotta, hey, man, this is all what it is. It's all about providing a great product and making sure the sales pitch is sound.
Heck yeah, man.
And the final tier that we have here is the original cover art for the ash can. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people love grabbing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a frame around this. I actually just took a picture of it while it was on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually just going to rip it off of my wall, frame and all, and send it to you.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah. With 100% pure Oasi tears.
Oh, I see tears because I am going to suffer. I do not want to let it go. I am a huge proponent. Hail, arrogant. I am a huge proponent, and I do say that I honestly believe that these early drawings and these early covers of the Veilwalker someday are going to be extremely valuable. Right? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe that someday I could be as big as our other indie darling Spawn.
Yeah, man, that's the way to do it. Yeah, it's hard for me to let go of original artwork, man. It really is.
That's why I price it like this. A lot of people are like, "Oh, $850, it should be." I'll do it for $500. I'm like, hell no. Honestly, you're lucky I don't charge you $2,000 for it. But I think
I feel the same way.
I think it's a good trade-off, right? $850, you get the original cover art plus basically the which I don't think I've stated it here, but you also get the statue and the covers. So you basically get all of it, right? So it's a fully loaded package. And I think it goes a long way in producing books. I mean, $850 really covers a huge portion of printing,
Yeah, it would.
So for me, it's a trade-off. I'm gonna cry all the way to the post office, but
But I mean, you know what? It's worth mentioning then that you don't just get the cover art; you get all of those other items as well. That does change the tenor of the purchase or the backing, in my opinion.
Yeah, there it is. It's all there. Oh, you get the ash can as well. So yeah, it's a decent package for the price, I believe so. So. If anybody gets their tax refund anytime soon, go ahead and back.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. What we're going to do now is we are going to have a look at Justin's campaign. And Justin's here to talk about Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf. So if you could share your screen, sir.
Nice.
Hell of a name.
I can add that to the stream, and I'm gonna move you up a bit here.
How dare you put me at the bottom?
Oh, there. We don't have.
That's exactly how it should be.
I'm back in the basement.
Okay, so Justin, do you want to go ahead and start with the trailer on yours as well?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, great.
Nice.
love it.
All right.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
You know, the fact that you've got Mike Barron involved in that project gives it a lot of gravitas as well.
Yeah.
Yep, Mike actually wrote both books.
Okay.
Just like the last campaign, I have a ash can basically sized book. That's what Weaponized Werewolf is. I was going to originally make it a ash can, and then I decided to go with a full size. It's 16 pages.
Okay.
And all these backers are going to get this metal trading card that Phoenix Animation made for me.
Nice.
See that?
Yeah, he does great work.
He does. I
That's
was actually
really
going to get Phoenix to work on something for our campaign, but it was a little too late in the process. So moving forward, for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
I've been doing something for ours actually.
Do you?
I
Okay.
actually met Phoenix Animation. I met
Nice.
him at the Colorado Springs Con.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when he was in the Detroit area at YumaCon, which is a huge weeb fest, I felt like I needed to shower for a week after I was in this this con. But it was I went and hung out with him at his booth, and we were. It was amazing how many of those anime metal posters or metal prints that he sold. He couldn't keep. He was like emptying his bins, and people were selling out on things. So yeah, he does great work. So tell us about this campaign before I go, giving him too much of a swelled head.
This is my first campaign. I started developing the both comics around actually it was 2018 in November. I went to the Rocky Mountain Con, and that's where I met Mike Barron.
Okay.
And he lives in Colorado, so I've talked to him before, but I never pitched my book. And I just walked up to his table and I was like, I got this idea for a pot smoking fox, I'm just, fuck it, I'm just going to ask him. And he goes, sure, I'm in. And I didn't know if he was joking or whatever, but he was for real. And then I told him this concept that I had in my head and how the story was going to go. And it went from there. We talked on the phone about it. There were some things that he wrote that I didn't like. We did some changes, but in the end, we got this very entertaining script. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And you get 2 comics, the metal card, and just a great story.
So you said, you mentioned you got 2 comics. Do they somehow cross over? Does one lead into the other, or?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to see that a lot of the same characters are going to be in both books.
Okay.
But the thing about the Weaponized Werewolf is it takes place 15 years earlier.
Oh, all right.
So, but it's kind of the prequel to Smokes. But I would read Smokes first and then get into Weaponized Werewolf if you back the campaign.
Okay. Why don't you scroll down and show us what you've got on the campaign?
What do you want to see?
Anything you want to show us? Anything you want to show us on the campaign about the story, whichever you feel is not too spoilery.
Well, basically, the campaign, the story is about Project Minotaur. It's a secret government project that's going on underneath the ground in the secret military base on the New Mexico and Colorado border. I'll show you this cover here. So what's going on is they're making these hybrids using alien grade technology underground, and they're developing these hybrids, and Smokes was one of the first hybrids that they created. And he was very intelligent, but he wasn't strong, so he wasn't really what they wanted something that can be a killing machine. So later on they developed Weaponized Werewolf, and Weaponized Werewolf is the strongest unit that they created in this lab.
All right.
And Smokes is a good boy when he's locked up, and he's able to get all kinds of privileges. He has a laptop. He gets to watch TV. Basically anything we have, he had. And he learned the languages. He learned about motorcycles. He used to watch programs like Sons of Anarchy and American Choppers and stuff like that. And he knew about marijuana, but he hasn't smoked marijuana yet. So what happens is Smokes gets out. He's able to bypass the security and escape. And a colonel makes the mistake of his life and sends Weaponized Werewolf to go retrieve him or to eliminate him. So that's kind of how the story starts.
All right.
Now, you said that he was a good boy. Now I wanted to ask you, is he the goodest boy? Because I think Kiwi back here would beg to differ, you know?
He wasn't chained.
He wasn't chained up? Okay, all right. There you go. Got to chain him up.
He got a laptop, too. This is the Gerhard cover. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this the main cover or the variant cover.
It became the main cover, though, right?
No, actually, the main cover is this
Variant.
one. This is the Bob Layton and Don Perlin cover. Don actually came out of retirement to do this cover for me. I believe it's going to be his last published work.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
like 90, man. He's getting up there.
And Bob Layton. Like,
Bob
seriously?
Layton did the inks on this one, yeah.
That's like, he's like one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, you're like, hell, come on, Justin.
Yeah, right. I reached out to Justin. I'm like, how can you get me in touch with Bob Layton? I mean, he did the iconic Iron Man run for like 50 some issues. I would love for him to do Canadian Shield for me. You know what I mean? That would be like right in his wheelhouse.
You can always ask him.
I know.
I just met him so many times, and I mentioned him so many times that he basically knows me. And then, as a favor, he said, "You know what? I'll do something small for your campaign, for your
Very
photo."
nice.
And I thought of what can he do that's small, and I just said, "Oh, you can ink a cover for me."
There you go.
That's really cool.
Getting who you want is not cheap. I gotta tell you that.
No.
But it
And plus, I did look to see if I could commission him, and in addition to being not cheap, it's also quite the waiting list. So, you know, good on you that you got this. This is pretty cool to get Perlin and Layton.
And this is the interior of Smokes. You can see a little glimpse of like inside the military base. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the lore of Dose Base. Supposedly this underground facility on the border of New Mexico and Colorado.
That's where I found Hans. Or HP.
Yeah.
Basically, the lore is that aliens are working with the military and doing experiments on humans. Yeah. So that's where I kind of got a little bit of the story idea from.
Okay.
And you can see them right now. The two hybrids are locked up. Cheney's up at the top, Weaponized Werewolf. And right there, that gray alien, his name is Sepoy. And if you can see, let me show you. Let me zoom in here.
Hey, Aardvark. Thanks for joining us.
That's not part of Area 51, though, is it? The base you were talking about?
No. Area 51 is in the
that's in
Nevada.
Okay. Now I've heard a lot of underground bases, and
there's supposed to be a lot of them.
Yeah,
hundreds of them
across shit going on
the world or wherever.
Right.
The lore is that this base is there, and people work there, and there's a floor supposedly called Nightmare Alley or Nightmare Hall, where these experiments are being done on humans. It's some freaky shit, though. If you ever seen, there's actually a video of supposedly leaked footage from the inside of the base. It could be fake, but it's still kind of creepy.
So, the lore, does it purport that the humans are there voluntarily, or they're abducted, or?
I don't want to give that part of the story away.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But it's not exactly what I didn't copy the story exactly how it's supposed to go. There's a twist.
All right.
But
so in order to find out, we just got to back it.
Book. If you smoke pot, this is your kind of book. If you like the '90s comics, this is your book.
He's hitting all the genres.
Yeah, everything.
Werewolves, this is your book.
Well, it's written in Colorado. You know what I mean?
If you live in Colorado, this is your book. This is when Smokes steals the motorcycle.
Oh,
Nice.
all right.
He's in disguise, and no one's supposed to know he's a pot smoking fox. You can't tell.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
So he goes to the same school as Sea Dog from Mark Polton, where you put on the outfit and nobody knows it's him.
I was gonna say the shades do a really good job of hiding that snout. You know.
Yep.
So Justin, you want to scroll back up and tell us what the tiers are?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go through the tiers. All right.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
For some reason, like, it doesn't. You gotta like go all the way down to the bottom, and then they pop back up at the top. It's very strange.
Oh, huh.
Did you know that? Yeah, no,
Did not notice that before.
This is the featured tier, the epic bundle. Basically, everything I have, except for the original art. So you're gonna get 3 signed books, both of those covers. You get the Weaponized Werewolf comic. You're gonna get the bottle opener that Phoenix Animation did. It's got the Gerhard cover on both sides of that bottle opener. You're going to get a neck gaiter, which has the cover on there. I'm going to show you this. You zoom in on that.
Oh, all right.
Oh, cool.
Let me see if I can do that for you. Hang on a sec. Solo, yay.
And you can, like, you know, put it on your face or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You rob a bank with it or whatever.
Disavow. We do not condone this activity.
I don't use those to rob banks.
And you get a Smokes license plate. It's a size of a motorcycle license plate. It's 4x7. And you get a sketch card, which the sketch card could either be drawn by Lee Oakes or Barry McLean. Those are the 2 Ontario artists for both books. And you also get a mystery gift, a very, very, very rare mystery gift. There's going to be less than 30 of each mystery gift. There's going to be 2 different mystery gifts. So you might get one or you might get the other.
Okay.
It's going to be extremely rare. So you get all that for $125. That's my highest tier, besides original art.
Right.
And we got then we got a digital tier that I just added because I'm only offering shipping to America and the territories, domestic.
So then this is the Australian variant. Okay.
Yeah. So anybody down under or anybody that's across the pond or whatever they want to buy into Smokes, I got this going on.
Hey, we've got some folks across the water who partake now and then. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that shipping to Australia is tough.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's terrible.
I just sent a box today, guys. It was about 22 pounds, or for those of you who don't use our wacky system, about 10 kilograms, and it was $230 to send that box to Australia.
You have someone did it have a bunch of tiers in it? Had a bunch of perks, and someone's gonna send it out from there.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to Michael, see if we can do the same thing.
You know, somebody who's setting up a business to do that for us is Hockey.
Yeah, hockey. I think that's
Critical
great. He's
Blast
doing
does
that.
that too, I think.
Well, Critical Blast does it here in the States. So
Yeah,
somebody
but he
from
sends it to
overseas
everybody out there.
can send it to him, and then he'll disperse it to the continent of the U.S. If you have some that you want to send to Australia and then sent out from there, Hockey is one of those who's doing it in Australia for you. So you send a box of all of your Australian backers' boxes inside, and then he'll take it and distribute it there. It's still, like I said, $200 and some to get that box to him. And then he's, of course, going to, he'll charge me the amount that it costs him to send him out. But still in all, add that all up, it's still far less than it would have been that I sent them all individually.
Yeah, once we're done on the stream, you guys gotta hook me up with Hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
That's a good
All right.
idea.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead and show us your tiers. Sorry about that.
This is my legendary pack. This is version A because it has the main cover.
Right. Okay.
So you get both books when you back, and then you're going to get the metal card. Did I show you the metal card?
You
Yeah,
did.
I
You showed us the
right?
video.
Yeah,
Yep.
So you get that. The first 90 people are going to get that.
Okay.
And if you don't want this cover, you can get the Gerhard cover on Legendary Pack B.
All right.
Nice.
And if you don't know which one you want both of them, you can get all three.
Also good to offer.
And if that's not good enough, you can get
But
all
wait, there's
three
more.
signed.
Oh, okay.
And they're all going to be signed by me, and Mike Barron's going to sign all three of them, and all the interior artists are going to sign the books that they did. So you're going to get 9 signatures total for $65.
All right. Good.
And then I added this bulk retailer tier.
Yep.
Nobody's bit yet, but you can get 5 sets of 2, and you can pick out what variant you want. So if you only want the Bob Layton and Perlin cover, you can just get all that cover, and then you're going to get a weaponized werewolf for each one you get. So you're going to get 10 total for $95.
Good deal.
And then I have original art, which I actually just sold my first page today.
Oh, great.
So when you back this tier, you're going to get the pick from what pages that I have when I'm about to fulfill, because I don't want to give out all the images out there and show everybody right now.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
As I'm fulfilling, I'm going to this person right here who backed this page is going to get the first pick of the litter. And then whoever backs second is going to get the next choice, and so on until they're all gone.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's a good way to
I
do it.
figured that's the best way to do it.
Yep. So if anybody's on the fence about that, get moving, because somebody might get a better pick than you.
And I got good pages too. I'm not going to stick you with a page that doesn't have like the main character in it or something, you know. It's just them talking and holding a cup of coffee. I'm not going to do that. You know, I got examples to choose from.
Right. Okay, great.
Weaponized werewolf pages are a little bit different because they were done non-traditionally. So the penciler did the pencils on one page, and then the original inks are on another page. But you'll get both when you back. So if you back, you're going to get the same page twice, but they go together. So that's why it's $10 more.
I'll bet some collectors would like it that way. I think I would if I was in the position to back the original art tier. I would like to have both. It shows the progression of the art, and behind the scenes kind of thing as it makes its way from one step to another.
It looks beautiful. And I'll tell you this: I've actually been to a museum that had a comic book page, displayed from script, draft, pencils, inks, and colors, and it just looked beautiful on the wall. And I think that's definitely something that you should possibly look into.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's what I did with my art for the comic book. I drew it pencil and then scanned it, printed it out separate, then inked it separate. And now I don't want to let it go, so I'm not going to do what you're doing. I'm like,
I don't want to let these pages go either.
It's terrible. Though. I know. It's terrible. I should let it go, but I can't.
Hail Cross Comics, thanks for joining us. I see we've got Telepathic Bunny in the chat as well, and Pops Van Zant is with us. Hey, Pops. Thank you guys for all being here. We appreciate you watching. And what I'd like to do now, guys, is, we've just got a few minutes here, and I wanted to give my guest co-host a chance to talk about his live campaign. So I'm going to go over to banners and see if I can do this correctly here, like that. I'm going to pop this up. And Derek, why don't you pull up your campaign for us?
All right. It's right there for you.
Oh, yep. There we go.
All right. So we are, we're just reaching towards the end of the first 30 days of the campaign.
Okay.
We didn't think this one through. We probably should have just done the 30 days and then do the next 30 days, but we did the full 60. And,
okay.
So we're at $2,045, 102% of the flexible goal. So we're getting there. I mean, we did better than I thought we would do, which was pretty interesting. It was a great launch on Bancroft, man. We had such a good time with that. And
that's a great place to do that. You're right.
Yeah, it was so fun and had my adrenaline up so high. It was crazy. I
Yep.
crashed the next day, man. I crashed. But
I'll
yeah,
bet.
so so basically, you know, we have 3 covers for this book. We have a wraparound cover, a team cover, and an homage cover. And so our featured tier is all 3 variant covers for $45. This is the team cover you're seeing right here. This was inked by Peter Palmiotti, drawn by me, and colored by Dio Lima. He's a great colorist, and I'm really happy with this cover. Oh, every
That's
cover
a
we
great
did.
cover. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have a digital tier for $7. You get a digital copy. That's for everybody in, you know, around the world for shipping costs. We just thought we'd better throw that in there for everybody.
Right. Good idea.
And then our standard issue is $15 for the team cover. And then you also get the PDF along with that.
Nice.
Then basically the homage cover is the same thing, only you're getting the homage cover. And the homage cover is actually an homage to Mike Zeck when he drew Captain America. I think it was it 81 or 181? I can't remember which one it was.
It's Captain America Annual number 8.
Number 8, that's what it was. Okay, the 8 was right. Everything else was wrong. But Mike Zeck is such a great artist. I had to do an homage to him. He's just fantastic. So
He also did the covers to the event where they're all on the cover coming at you. It was the Contest of Champions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
page went for $1 million or something, whatever it was. That
What's
black
that now?
man suit.
Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the Mike Zeck page went for like $1 million recently.
Wow.
That's awesome because his art, man, like that's what I grew up on in the 80s. That's what I grew up reading. He did everything on G.I. Joe, Captain America.
I wasn't even born in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know, I have a phrase that I'll tell you, but I'll wait till the stream is over.
So I'm trying to get through this really fast, but so if I'm lingering too long, just let me know, man. We have a wraparound cover, and that's for $20. So we went up a little bit on the wraparound.
Well, that was a lot more work.
Yes, it was a lot.
Your time is valuable, Derek.
Yes, and that was and I'm telling you, a wraparound cover. It took a lot out of me.
Really,
as an artist, that cover particularly was tough. It was one of those things where I had made decisions and I thought it was great, and then we had this guy we were talking to. We kind of bounced our ideas off of it, and he just was like, "Yeah, but it's not like the team cover." And I went, "What? You know, do you not think this is cool?" And he goes, "It's not the team cover." He just kept saying that, and it blew my mind. So I got this, like, you know, you get self-conscious as an artist, man, where you're like, "Is this not good?" And then Murph talked me in, you know, he talked me down off a ledge, and I was good. And I was like, okay, this cover took a piece of me, but it's all good. I'm really happy with it.
All right.
So.
I'm glad you're still here with us.
Yeah, man. People don't realize how much work goes into these comics, man.
So I think what I'm going to have to do is ask you on your next campaign. No, I was going to ask you for your next campaign if you would do a print of Sabra for me.
Yeah. I want to highlight him a little more. He doesn't get a lot this time around, but
okay.
How much do you charge for wraparound covers?
So $20 for the wraparound for this campaign.
No, I mean as an artist, I want you to do as many wraparound covers. As
the price is steadily going up, man. It's steadily going up.
As your fame increases, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, thank you very much, Derek, for going over that real quick. I wanted to give you some time to have a look at it because it's definitely a campaign worth backing. And you guys, both of you are great. In fact, Kevin Murphy, the writer on this one, is going to be with me next week.
Nice.
And 1 week from tonight, he'll be on the show. We're going to have 2 Mikes, 2 Murphys, It's going to be fun. We're going to like double up on a couple.
Oh man,
I know, right?
yeah, you're
That page
asking
was
for
awesome.
it. Thank you.
So yeah, guys, listen. We're going to start with you, Oasi. If you could tell us where we can find you on the socials, please.
So basically, I keep it simple. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Owasi Comics. And we also have a website, same, owasicomics.com.
Excellent. How about you, HP?
Me. I currently am wandering the plains of New Hampshire in scavenging in the woods. I don't have a social media presence yet,
Oh,
but will soon. But yeah. Just,
All
You
right.
can find him by finding me.
right,
Yeah.
right. I was just going to say that. If you want to get to him, you got to go through the gatekeeper. Yep.
Any messages he'll relay and slip it under the door that locks from the outside.
Right,
With
right.
with his slice of cheese for the day.
Yeah. The little tiny door at the bottom of the door. How about you, Justin? Where can we find you on the socials?
Mainly on Twitter at Justin Belmont with an underscore between my first and last name.
Okay. Yep. So you can find their Twitter handles and their campaign websites below in the description, as well as Derek's. Derek can be found at capital D underscore capital R small O capital K small K underscore. He wanted to keep it simple for us, you know?
Yeah, simple.
All right, listen, guys, thanks so much for being here, for showing us these great campaigns. Derek,
man.
thanks for being my co-host this week.
No problem. Anytime.
And anytime you guys want to catch us, we are on Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern, and hope to see you next week, where we're going to have a look at Long Shadow, we're going to look at Black Jackets, and we're going to look at Ballad of the Celestials, but in more detail. So join us next week at 10. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Peace out, guys.
Good one.